How's it going, people? It is Liam Caddison here with another episode of Angel, with episode number 20 for season 4. Looking forward to getting into this episode and continuing the arc with Jasmine, because it's been a very, very interesting arc so far. Very creepy, but very interesting as well. And things are beginning, I guess, with this episode in a lot better circumstances than they did with episode 19, because we had Fred alone in the world, whilst the rest of her friends were under the influence of Jasmine beginning last episode, and beginning this episode, the majority of Angel investigations, they've been freed from Jasmine's control, barring Connor, who's decided to become a little snitch. So yeah, as I said, I'm not sure if the process did work for Connor, and he's decided to choose Jasmine's side from his own free will, or if it didn't work altogether based on the fact that he is Jasmine's father. So either way, Angel investigations, I think, need to get out of Dodge, come up with a game plan to put Jasmine to an end, and all will be rosy. Who knows? But yes, I'm looking forward to getting into this episode. Like I said, it's been a very interesting arc so far, and it'll be very, very interesting to see what does happen in this episode, and to see what Jasmine does, since I guess her key players have pretty much, barring Connor, been normalized, I guess. So yeah, so with that said, let's get into episode number 20 of season 4 for Angel. Let's go.
I belong. I won't let anyone ruin that.
Oh no! Here's Connor! Oh! Oh!
We can't risk going against that. Not now. Someone...
Oh my goodness! Okay. Well, that worked.
Drive. Angel.
We can't just leave him. He's your...
I know what he is. Wes, drive.
Took him out of the picture so he can, yeah. Oof. Yeah, let's drive.
Wait, we just need time.
To hell with that, we need a damn break. But the universe don't seem to be handing breaks out to the underdog lately. No leads, no database.
The universe can be a bit of a biatch.
Gas.
We should have taken Connor with us. He looks...
No, it's too risky, especially if Jasmine has eyes on her followers.
Closer to my followers. I feel what they feel. I see what they see. We're
At least she's keeping a cool demeanor about it.
Body. They're my eyes, my skin, my limbs, and if need be, my fists.
That doesn't scream creepy, to be fair.
Over. Let's go. No snack?
The fact that children are speaking in Jasmine's voice is just like, doesn't scream demonic whatsoever. Oh shoot! Police!
in the chaos.
Cordelia.
I can't believe I almost forgot about her.
Do it.
Well, to be fair, this season did, so...
Forget about her.
Yeah.
We all have to now.
Brighton did.
We don't have a choice. Minute's up.
Desperate times.
Black, deceitful, cowardly magic.
Oh.
They're always using magic.
Leave me. I want to be alone with my mother.
What you gonna do to Cordy? Come on. It's just interesting seeing this hateful hatred, in a sense, isn't it?
Trip.
Are these like the
see so much as breeze wrong, you stick 'em. Ugly at hey.
Wow,
You know,
come
I kinda
on.
have a thing about people pointing sharp wood and
Are these against Jasmine?
Randall? Little ass Randall Golden, man. This punk stole my car when he was 12 years old.
Oh, damn!
Down here, man.
Like I said, son, we'll ask the questions.
Isn't it great? Reunions. Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
What the hell was that?
It's back.
Great.
This blood is a danger to us. If she falls into hateful hands, the hate can spread.
But where is she?
What
She's
if
where I want her to be.
What the frick?
Whose blood is that?
Somebody I knew.
It's not exactly like his son at this moment, is it?
Somebody who tried to do bad stuff to my friends.
He's dissolving his administration tonight. The time of the politician is
Right.
over. This state now answers to me.
Great! Great!
It's happening. Don't you
What a
feel it?
happy world this is gonna
This
be.
world is about to kneel before me and shed all its avarice, all its woe. I will free. You think that pain is yours to keep and bear alone. But it's not.
What the hell?
I want it.
What?
I want everything you are, Connor. Father.
This is oh my god. Oh shit.
Okay.
This is really messed up. But just yeah.
Surface.
Look at it.
Right.
Come on!
Eek.
That thing is really pissing me off. Lauren, Wes. Where's Wes?
Oh great. Oh, not again, Wes. Oh my god.
We loved her first.
Good for you, buddy.
She?
Jasmine?
Jasmine?
Hey?
Jasmine. That's what we call her.
So they followed her
Superior
first.
being that you loved first.
Name her.
Get her time quarters out of my way, because I ain't in the mood.
Or it could just be rats.
Now, what you have to go and say that for? Damn!
Sorry, I wasn't. I'm sure if it's not Matthew, then it's probably some horrible monster, but definitely not.
Look at us.
Rats is where you draw the
And
line.
yesterday we were happy. Happier than I ever thought possible. Now we're trudging through sewage hunting some 13-year-old kid to drag his ass back down here so he doesn't find out a Shangri-La land up there.
He's scared, Charles. I know how
Yeah.
he feels. And you know, sometimes when I allow myself to think about it, it eats me up inside.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, Fred.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'd take that over being a shell any day.
She's got
Come on.
that sweet, caring demeanor about
There's a
her. You
scared kid
can't
out there we
blame
gotta
her.
find.
It's easier said than done being heartless, really.
I didn't see.
Please.
I tear your guts all inside out. I stitch your guts all over. Why don't you go dead?
Why don't you go?
Oh,
More.
why are you
chocolate
creepy?
meat.
Oh my.
You can't kill him. Not that way. He's already dead. So that's the word, isn't it? The word she gives care about.
Shut.
It's her name.
Shut.
Yeah. Yes.
Shut. Shut. Shut.
Name is important. Holy shit.
No, I won't go.
Sorry, son, but we ain't asking.
Help! Help!
Oh, Matthew. Oh.
Fred!
This is gonna be playing on the
Get his
whole.
feet.
Oh.
She has a name and it has power over her. That's why she keeps it.
From the ones who love truly.
Well then, I guess it's time to shoot the messenger.
Hey!
Chop the messenger into little bitty pieces, whatever.
Like the first play on words. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why when we use words like ugly ass,
Now, we did what we had to, and frankly, I ain't interested in your opinion on the subject.
Very, very grey area, isn't it?
Maddie?
Oh no! He's been enlightened.
I see you. Holly.
Not
What you
creepy.
did to Matthew. They hit him again and again until he lost all consciousness. He just...
Oh. Up. Oh, no.
Hello again, children.
Oh, my God!
You've met my father.
I give unto thee.
Angel, that creature, it came from a world that's worshipped Jasmine for millennia. A world that we can reach through this. What? I think the universe just handed us our first break.
Which is what is needed, really.
We're worried about them. Angel, wait!
Yeah, you gotta find a way back. Your first pot we've gone through.
Time for the big fight scene.
Oh! 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 That's... You know, this is not something you generally laugh about. Ah! Yeah, that's bad. Oh my... Ooh!
Oh, hell.
That's bad. That's really, really bad. I've got to say, though, that's pretty impressive, though. Like, obviously, CGI TV early 2000s is not going to be the most lucrative thing that there is, but something like that is... I've got to say, it was a cool shot as well, so... Phew. But, at least we have, you know, moved forward, in terms of trying to have the high ground against Jasmine. But now we've got to, you know, deal with those, those demons. So good luck with that, as well as the fact that the rest of Angel Investigations are fighting off Connor and the soldiers. So, yeah. But apart from that, pretty sinister in some elements, like especially with one of those demons that was carving that was of course giving us leeway to the keys essentially to defeating Jasmine, and Jasmine just possessing children as well, which is very, very like, it's always when children are getting possessed and have that have that voice that stems from the source of something sinister. It's always very, very spine-chilling. So, and there was no exception to that in this episode. So, that's us set up for the, I guess, final 2 episodes of the season. We had pretty much for this episode, Angel Investigations wondering where we go from here in order to stop Jasmine, because they were stuck at a bit of a dead end with this episode. But thanks to a spider demon thingy-mabob, we have finally got some leeway in terms of what is Jasmine's kryptonite, and I think it's a very interesting utilization to have a facade name to protect her real name, as that would be her kryptonite. So I think that's a very interesting concept to utilize, and like I said, we've now got a bit of an idea on how to proceed with things. So yeah, it's just that spider demon planet. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a hurdle for Angel, as we saw in the closing moments of this episode, which is kind of akin to but the ending of Buffy 7x15 in a sense, I feel. So yeah, but thankfully these spider demons are not as ruthless as the Turrican, so yeah. But still, I really thought that this episode was pretty interesting, especially with characters discussing, I guess, the morally grey area, in a sense. Primarily Fred and Gunn, but there was also a bit with Angel as well, especially in regards to Connor and, you know, how he's this, what's been a very, very pretty much focused constant in regards to the dynamic with Angel and Connor is Angel's always trying to hold out hope for Connor, and is always trying to, turn him to the light in some sense, and will do pretty much anything. And of course, we saw in this episode, Connor being abandoned, and you had everyone like, you can't just leave him. Though I think it might be for the best, especially with how Jasmine operates. Like, all of her subjects are the eyes and ears for her, aren't they? So taking Connor would pose a bit of a disadvantage, as we saw later on with Matthew when he was influenced, and things just turned to hell from here on. So I think it was a good idea to, of course, leave Connor behind, and basically try to formulate a plan that doesn't kind of backfire, and then be able to try and rescue Connor, although Connor decided, of course, with the soldiers to make the move against Angel Investigation, so we'll see how that pans out. But there was also the fact that Angel, of course, pummeled him, and we saw that kind of we saw that kind of, I don't know, guilt, I would say. I would probably say it was guilt, but he had to do what he had to do as well. So, especially in order to be able to give Angel Investigations a bit of a reprieve, rather than just being mauled to death by Jasmine's followers. So, yeah, but it is something that is kind of, I don't know, a subject that has Angel suffering in a sense, about the fact that it's not something that he would do, but it's to move things along, really, and give Angel Investigations a bit of a chance to get out of Dodge, really. So it was a very, very interesting episode, like I said, to discover the morally grey zones, especially with Fred and Gunn, because we saw a continuation of what happened in episode 5 in terms of the debate about that transpire in this episode, and how Fred can't necessarily switch off her emotions as easily as some people may seemingly appear to do so. And how there are some people who are willing to do some very questionable things in order for the greater good, essentially. And I feel like it's on brand in terms of the personalities of these characters. With Fred, she is very, very sweet. She's very, very compassionate, and hates to think of doing something very questionable, as we saw with the long-term ramifications of what happened with Professor Seidel. It's not something it's something that still haunts her to this day. And with Gunn, he did what he had to do, and it's the same with knocking Matthew out, for example, doing what he had to do, especially in order to quell Matthew's cry and to avoid any attention to any of Jasmine's followers. So, I had a sad feeling that Matthew would be under the influence when he was revealed to be in daylight, because it's like with Jasmine's influence, it's pretty like stepping in the sunlight and whatnot is very, very risky. So hence why the sewers is a very safe option. So but still, with Gunn, he had to do what he had to do in order to mitigate any kind of advantage for Jasmine. And it is something, of course, that Fred reacted and shot. You just, knocked out a child. But with Gunn, as I said, it's something that he has to do in terms of mitigating any kind of attention that would be attracted. So, and it's the same with in terms of emotionally speaking, that Gunn feels like in order to focus on the most important aspects in terms of stopping Jasmine, sometimes we have to come at this in terms of an emotionless stance, and it's not as simple as that for Fred. So I really, really enjoyed the conversation that took place in regards to not just seeing the long-term, I guess, ramifications of what happened with Professor Seidel, but also just how the conversation flowed in general, because for Fred, it's not as simple as, okay, I can turn my emotions off. There we go. And, you know, with Gunn, he has to do what he has to do in terms of, because it's a bit of an ask at the minute, and sometimes you gotta adopt the cold to proceed in Gunn's sense. And in terms of a few other characters as well, like I guess Wesley kind of counts for that, especially with what's been happening this past year, I guess. And of course Angel as well. He would be willing to I guess sacrifice Cordy, for example, and he was going to as well. Back a couple of episodes ago, before Jasmine came to light, he was ready to kill Cordy in order to save the world. So it is something that is a very bitter pill to swallow, but something that they've got to adopt, really. And it's not as simple as that for Fred. Fred's more she has that attachment to emotion, which isn't a bad thing, but it is very, very interesting to like go into this debate. I can't switch off my emotions. It's a bit more difficult to do something that seems very, very cold, but for the right thing, because it's something that doesn't really conform to what I am, really. So yeah, but I found that those exchanges, especially when we reflected back to Seidel, very, very interesting. So yeah, and it was just well acted, in my opinion, as well. So yeah, but and we also saw a bit of a hesitation with Connor as well, especially in regards to Cordy when Jasmine dealt with her. I don't know what she's done with her, but you know what? It's probably something bad and devastating, because why would it be something, you know, that's gonna sit well for us, right? So yeah, but Connor was even having his doubts there. So I do have hope he will, you know, pull away from Jasmine. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed, and especially with him and the soldiers fighting the rest of Angel Investigations, whilst Angel tries to find an opening to defeat Jasmine. I do hope that Connor does have that realization somehow, and fights for us again. But we'll just have to wait and see. But there was a bit of a blip for him, because obviously, like I said, my speculation was that either the thing utilizing Cordy's blood did break Connor from the control, and you know, he still chose Jasmine's side from his own free will, or it didn't work. And I don't know, maybe with Connor's hesitation, there is a more likelihood that the first option might come to light. I'm not sure, but it is very interesting how there was that. But I don't know if it's something to do with his attachment to Cordy as well. So whatever the case is, there was a little bit of a crack there. So I thought that was very interesting, as well as the fact that there was that commentary about Connor's pain being a very pretty much constant to his life, which it is a very, very sad situation when you think about it. Like, oh, pain has always been in your life. So and that's it with Connor. Like, yeah, he has made some very questionable statements and decisions, and he has pissed us off at least once in his tenure in Angel. But there is one thing that I think that we could pretty much agree on, is the fact that there is sorrow behind his character. His character is a tragic one, because you had Holtz, who manipulated him in a sense, and well, I would say in a sense, but you know, he put a very aggressive perspective in Connor's upbringing, and not just that though, but the hardships that Connor went through in terms of becoming the fighter he is pretty ruthless, as we, you know, saw in the conversation, I think last episode, with Angel and Connor. But also you have Jasmine on the scene, who's pulling his strings as well. So it is a very tragic circumstance because he's just a pawn of manipulation, really. So and there is that agreement that Payne has been a product of associated to Connor all of his life. So it is pretty devastating. So yeah, but I really loved how things went by with this episode. Like I said, the whole morally grey subject, I guess, especially with Angel and Gunn trying to close off emotion and in order to proceed things along, especially in this fight against Jasmine with Fred as well, like how that's a bit more easier said than done. As well as the fact that there was that moment where she was like, "Oh, Cordy, how could we do that?" There was that moment where Fred like reacted like that, and there was that kind of shame in terms of how could we forget about Cordy, etc. That's it though. That with Fred, she is more like their compassion is pretty much attached to her, and she doesn't have the same morally grey ambiguity. Well, I wouldn't say that, but I would say decision making, I guess, as Angel and Gunn. So where they know what they have to do, and it might not be a thing that sits well, but it is what they have to do in order to proceed to the next step alive. So it was pretty good arguing about that, and just seeing the back and forth between Fred and Gunn especially, and the spider demon thing, especially the one that Wesley confronted, was pretty interesting, especially to move things along in terms of Jasmine and how, like I said, her name holds a bit of kryptonite. So her true name, seemingly, it's Doctor Who. I hope not, because that would be a very macabre way of the Doctor. Like, talk about your Time Lord victorious, right? No, but in all seriousness, there was that, of course, revelation, as well as the fact that these spider demons worshipped her, and we saw that spider demon devour that vampire. I don't know why, but it reminds me of the Nile, I think it was, from Buffy earlier in season 7, actually. Just with the way it was eating away, and it was, very, very sinister in general. Not just that, though, but the sound effects as well, because there was a combination of effects from the Nile that really was very, very chilling. And it's the same here, like the way it was like, it was, oof. No, thank you. So there was that resemblance, in my opinion, with just the way it was very, very eerie, with the way that it was eating away at its subject. Yeah, so there is that resemblance, in my opinion, as well. So yeah, but not just that though, but we had someone associated to Gunn's group, the brother actually to someone from Gunn's group, and not just that though, but I like the continuity as well about them still hiding out in the sewers based on the beast blotting out the sun. So I thought that was a nice bit of continuity, because it hasn't really been that long, has it, in terms of the Angel timescale? And I do really like the idea, especially with these warriors. They are like they are choosing a rational approach. Like if they stuck up above the sewers, I guess, during the time that the beast blotted out the sun, it would pose at a bit of a disadvantage, and they need a bit of a secure area to gather their resources, tend to the wounded, etc. So I really like the continuity to that as well. So I also liked how Matthew as well reacted to Angel's true form as well, and I don't know, I feel like there might be a bit of a semblance to Matthew and Connor in terms of when Angel was reacting to the blood on his fist as well, and there was that bit of a dejected feeling as well. So yeah, and how Matthew was startled by Angel. You could say that kind of paints similarities, especially with Angel not wanting to do what he did to Connor, but it's again going back to that morally grey subject about what is right in terms of proceeding to the next step. And like I said, it's not something that Angel is content with. So seeing, and we know that Connor has had his moments where he's startled by Angel. So having Matthew react like that is gonna kind of put a bit of a reminder on things, isn't it? In a sense. So yeah, but still, it was really, really good, and very creepy as well, especially when Jasmine took possession of the vocal cords, especially with the children, because it wasn't just Matthew, there was another child at the gas station, I believe. So, yeah, that was pretty creepy, but there was some creepy elements in this episode. The spider demon with Jasmine, as well as the fact that she was laughing whilst her body was being torn left, right, and center, like, not something you want to cheer about, really, but you do you, right? No, but in all seriousness, it was pretty good in order to have Angel Investigations focus on, okay, what's next for us? And now we got a bit of an answer, so these next 2 episodes should be pretty interesting to see how we do proceed with things, really. So, yeah, but overall, pretty neat stuff. So, yeah, pretty enjoyable episode. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!